Ey Junge, ich will sofort Ja sagen, Alter. Mach dir eine Glatze.
Team Deathmatch. Unser Mutterland. Wir sind an der Spitze.
Jo! Ah! Ah!
I'm
a flying machine, let's not never ever see. I got too much time. Cool, bro, cool.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug.
Mange, campeur. Pose-le, ça là. C'est sale, elle le met dans sa bouche. Sa bouche, elle est sale. Oh, gros campeur.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug in Position.
Spionageflugzeug wurde zerstört.
Sauberer Schuss.
Wir liegen in Führung. Wir verlieren diesen Kampf. Wir haben die Führung.
Kontrollier deine Ziele.
Scharfschütze.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug. verlieren den Vorteil. Wir liegen in Führung.
Der Feind hat euer Lichtmikrofon.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position.
Campeur de merde.
Autorisiere Start eines Spionageflugzeugs.
Mange campeur.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug. Das funktioniert nicht. Wir liegen zurück.
Oh là là, il campe toujours au même endroit.
Wir haben die Führung. Wir haben die Führung bekommen. Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position. Spetsnaz, ihr seid besser als das. Kämpft härter.
Spionageflugzeug bereit für den Einsatz. Spionage. Überwachung von oben.
Nein!
Feindlicher Marschflugkörperstand registriert.
Flugzeugs bei 50%. Missionszeit abgelaufen. Das Flugzeug verlässt das Einsatzgebiet.
Arrête de camper, fils de pute. Putain.
Uns bleiben nur noch Sekunden. Macht Druck. Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug. Dowolna, Berg die Toten und zieht euch zum Exfiltrationspunkt zurück.
Wir haben gewonnen. Nichts wie weg hier.
At the Brookhaven National Laboratory in Upton, New York. The facility has just installed a new machine that's unlike anything you've ever seen before. The alternating gradient synchrotron, also known as the Muon G23. It's a 14-ton behemoth featuring a particle accelerator capable of firing muon beams through a 50-foot wide storage ring. This ring is essentially a racetrack for subatomic particles using powerful superconductors to create a magnetic field within. It's a piece of technology so delicate kept at negative 450 degrees Fahrenheit to even function. The purpose of this machine is studying a kind of particle known as a muon. Little does Paulie know, it's with this very machine that he and his team of physicists may be toppling mankind's most accurate set of laws for our universe, the standard model of particle physics. How is such a thing even possible? And what does any of this mean? Take a deep breath and hold on to your brain, because everything we thought we knew about particle physics may be about to change. Our story starts all the way back in 1936 with a known particle outside of physics circles, but the linchpin of everything we'll be discussing today. Cast your mind back to your physics class in high school and see if you can remember the structure of the atom. It's a nucleus formed out of protons being orbited by electrons. Protons carry a
Waffenfreigabe. Ihr könnt angreifen.
This refresher is important. Muon is essentially a much larger version of the electron. 107 times larger. It's so similar to an electron in a structural sense as fat electrons, and it's also in a won't degrade as quickly as some others. You have to bear in mind, though, that everything we're discussing here is incredibly small. Even the most stable particles degrade within a second, which is why the development of incredibly precise particle accelerators
Feindliche Spionageflugzeug im Anflug.
Because of their negative charge, they have a tendency to display something known as alarm or precision. This wobble can be used to calculate this is a value affected by the interaction with other subatomic particles. Almost like a woman's husband coming home one night smelling of beer, cigarettes, and you could probably estimate from this data the smell that rub and elbows with. As we mentioned earlier, a muon is functionally
Spionageflugzeug bereit für den Einsatz.
die Kontrolle.
Die Missionszeit des Spionageflugzeugs bei 50%.
Extracted, all that's left is the precision of the magnetic motor. Scientists come up with a prediction for what the G-Factor of Muon is. Still with us.
Neuer Prioritätsauftrag. Spionageflugzeug verlässt das Einsatzgebiet.
In this case, that framework is the standard.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position. Feindliches Geschütz aktiv. Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug. Über euch in Position. Ihr seid zurückgefallen. Mehrere feindliche Spionageflugzeugkontakte. Spionageflugzeuge entdeckt. Mehrere feindliche Spionageflugzeuge entdeckt.
Der Feind hat euer Richtmikrofon zerstört.
Feindlicher Kampfhubschrauber im Anflug. Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position. Tut es nicht für mich. Holt den Sieg für Uncle Sam. Okay, lasst es sein. Alle Operator zurück zur Basis.
Sie sind zu stark für uns. Kommando, holt uns hier verdammt nochmal raus.
Betäubungsgranate.
The second story, my boss fired me to pay for my unemployment benefits. The third story, neighbor's landlord tried to double my neighbor's rent without permission, got taken to court. On to the first story. Write me up for simple mistakes to get me fired, prepared to get fired. Anyways, private security was my field up until a few years ago. When I say security, I don't mean mall cops, but high-end armed-trained security. I spent a few years working a job in another city away from home, but the company went under, so I decided to move back home. I found a security job online. It was simple entry level, basically sitting behind a computer. You were security for the building, but monitored security for other sites the company owned across 3 states. Like small repair places, factories, places where they stored vehicles, etc. So I submitted my resume. The next day a guy calls and sets up an interview. Awesome because I needed to find work fast. Went to the interview, conducted by a woman I'll call Jane. She was the supervisor, and the guy I talked to was her boss. Jane immediately told me I was way overqualified, which I found strange, but okay. Interview went fine and I left. A few hours later she called and said I was hired, and set up training days. Now, I won't go through that. I just wanted to get background, so let's go to the good part. She always gave me a cold shoulder. Her boss found out I have all the qualifications, licensing and training to be armed. So, he had me come in armed. Nothing fancy, handgun, 3 magazines, and handcuffs. She would always make comments about how everyone should be armed. A few of my coworkers I wouldn't trust with a water gun, and she should decide who's armed. Just little comments to get under my skin. Then one day it happened. I was working the front desk / reception that day, and she sends me a message over Messenger, telling me she needs to see me. I go back. She drags me to a side office with a write-up form. Apparently when I added door access to visitor's badge, I added the door to the gym in the basement. A mistake, but not life-threatening. A week later, I didn't sign my timesheet. Another for not filling in a form correctly. All minor things everyone has done or did.
Team Deathmatch. Spetsnaz, ihr habt Angriffsfreigabe.
Supervisor. Confused, I took it to her second in command. I'll call him Bob, a great guy. He told me that he brought it up, that I had the experience to F off, it was her choice. Anyways, that got me mad, so I started planning my revenge. I don't normally do this, but I knew one more write-up I would be fired no matter how minor the infraction was. Good thing is, during the night shift, there's only 2 people. We can't see each other's computers, so I started thinking. I remembered about 4 months prior, her car broke down in the parking lot across the street. Instead of having it towed, Jane's father decided to fix it there. No big
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position.
This was a huge deal. The office took scanning 3 doors and a keypad to enter. In the whole building, only the security staff and 1 cleaning guy had You get up to the door, turn off any gates in the building that the company owns. So it was a big deal because we had the keys to the kingdom. That was a huge effing violation, so I hatched my plan. Under the excuse of having a smoke, I went out to reception and copied the visitor log from those days. I then went back in and accessed the video feeds. You could go back years for all video feeds. And took screenshots of her husband entering the doors and office. The office itself had no camera, as well as with timestamps. Him leaving and the fact that there was white men, which follows. Even if they hold it open, you must scan your card. I logged on to my private email and sent it to another email, knowing they don't log what you do on the computers. I got the log copies and everything to not only her boss, but his boss, whose job was investigating breaches and theft. I also included every dirty trick she pulled.
Wir sind an der Spitze.
The fallout didn't take long. 2 days later, a Friday, I went in for afternoon.
Wir verlieren diesen Kampf.
I looked confused and said Jane was suspended for a week, and that Monday I had to come in and speak with her boss.
Wir haben die Führung.
Everyone was interviewed. It was great. Rumors were flying. I was laughing on the inside. Okay, interview day. I They knew I worked while she brought her husband in and asked me. I spilled everything. After acting scared and getting assurances it would be confidential, and I won't be punished. I didn't tell them I sent it, but they asked everyone. I let out weren't. I didn't know.
Spionageflugzeug bereit für den
Went on for
Einsatz.
an hour and I left. Next day, an email's waiting. Bob was in charge until a replacement's added. I had a long talk with Bob that day. Turns out Jane was scared of me.
Feindliches Spionageabwehrflugzeug ist in der Luft.
That I might take her job, and admitted to him she wanted me gone. A fact that he told him in his interview. Also that she didn't want to hire me, but her boss made her. Turns out her boss was aware of things, and looking for an excuse to fire her, but it had to be big. Jane had been working at that department. It was her first real job, and security was all she knew. They blacklisted her. It means unless the company was really desperate, she wouldn't get it. Icing on the cake. I know you want to know. Yes, I was offered her job. No, I didn't take it. I told him that Bob did. He did, but I would be happy being a shift supervisor. So that's what I stayed for the next 2 years. The next 4 years. Fire my boss and enjoy
Spionageflugzeug
paying
im
for my
Einsatzgebiet.
unemployment benefits.
Meldet feindliche Kontakte.
I started working for a small branch of the company. Got along really well with my boss, the branch manager, and used to compare him to Michael Scott, not to his face. I would have been Jim Halpert in this scenario.
Missionszeit des
After working there for a while,
Spionageflugzeugs zur
my
Hälfte
boss was
abgelaufen.
approached with an awesome offer to go manage a bigger branch a few hours away. This was because the owner wanted to place
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position. Mehrere feindliche Spionageflugzeuge.
Neuer Prioritätsauftrag. Spionageflugzeug verlässt das Einsatzgebiet.
relocated to its current position. This was not taken well by our corporate office, but they couldn't fire him for it. 2 weeks later, I saw our office manager, a lady nobody in the office liked, in my boss's office filing paperwork. Or so it seemed. It was odd but not alarming. The next week, my boss was going to be on vacation, and all the office staff had to attend a meeting with employees at the corporate headquarters. Our office manager handed out new office keys to all of us. 3.
Wir verlieren den Vorteil.
My boss was on vacation and salary. I asked, why are we getting keys? She said it was because someone lost theirs. None of us had lost our keys. We were all sitting together and could easily confirm this. So I texted my boss to ask him, and he had no clue what she was up to. I got a bad feeling about what was happening. I called him after the meeting and told him to come out Sunday when he got back from out of town. I explained that I was
Euer Richtmikrofon wurde zerstört.
on Monday. I just had a gut feeling. I said it was too bad. I wouldn't work there anymore, knowing that they would do shady stuff like that. He jokingly said that he should fire me first, so I could go on unemployment. I laughed and told him that he should write me a termination notice, and that if he doesn't, does get fired, I could take it to the unemployment.
Feindliche Vorräte sind in der Luft.
That would make me eligible for benefits. So we did, and he was fired Monday for misfiring paperwork. I definitely did not go back to work. They tried calling me in, and I told them my boss already fired me.
Wir liegen in
I
Führung.
took the proof with me to the unemployment office and was good to go. Until they, former employer, disputed my claim. Unemployment office and my corporate HR person. HR. He wasn't fired. The paperwork he submitted with his claim isn't the right paperwork. It should have come from HR, not his manager. Unemployment. Why did the manager not do that then? Where's HR? He no longer works for the company.
zum Anflug.
And he was fired. Unemployment. Why was he fired? HR. Unemployment. That's where they decided to terminate. They told my HR that they couldn't rehire me because they already filled the position. So I got to collect unemployment. Moving on to my next job.
Feindliche Fernlenkladung in eurem Einsatzgebiet.
Had they done that,
Verdammt nochmal besser!
such that I wouldn't be eligible for unemployment. I took that power away by getting fired. I'm also positive that when I saw the office manager in his office, while he was
Feindliches Spionageabwehrflugzeug ist in der Luft.
double my rent,
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position.
we'll call him Tom. The only neighbor who didn't judge him religion in a very religious location. Anyway, Tom and his wife have been having it rough on their end because Tom had a back injury that caused him to be work. Tom's back got shorted in the stick on his disability pay. Up till now, Tom has been doing lots of odd jobs to make up the differences. He's been working for Tom for the last 2 years, until a few months ago. A few months ago, LL from now on, without any due notice or change of contract, tried to
Wir liegen in Führung. Zeigt eure Überlegenheit.
had no ability to get that money. It really feels like LL just wants Tom out.
Alle feindliche Luftpatrouille entdeckt.
Well, Tom is told that he's got until next month to figure it out. Tom's freaking out. He's now at the bottom of the housing list, and there is nowhere in the state that has low enough cost of living. This is just social security slash stuff. Luckily, Tom is a very talkative man and shares his stories with just about everyone. His friends have him talk to a lawyer about it because it didn't seem right, and the lawyer starts looking into it. If I remember right, the lawyer is also a friend. We're just willing to help out with circumstances.
Spetsnaz, ihr habt euch den Dank der Partei gesichert.
The first shining light is Tom. LL was breaking contracts. Shining light about that. LL didn't want this to go to court. He didn't want the city to actually become his best property. So instead, LL was trying to get Tom to leave the relationship or on bad terms. LL was sending his daughter out to take pictures of the house and property. They were trying to find dirt on Tom so they could use it to evict him before Tom got court papers in order. Luckily, Tom had 2 things going for him. He had no dirt for LL to find, and all of us loved Tom and felt that LL was an old piece of crap that was trying to take advantage of people. That being said, LL didn't get anything on Tom, and the court date soon came about. The story ends on a bittersweet note. The court ended up ruling in Tom's favor. Tom didn't have to pay any rent for the last 6 months of living in the location, and he owed nothing to LL for any reason. Tom did, however, have to vacate the premise within the next 48 hours or so. That's the bittersweet part. The great part is that now LL has to pay 21 years of back taxes and fees for renting a single-family house out as a duplex against zoning laws. And I'm pretty sure that on top of that, the court is forcing him to reconvert it back to a single-family home. I've seen renovation crews coming in and tearing all sorts of things down, and they may even be getting rid of the house. But that's just conjecture on my part. Either way, it's costing LL $10,000 to $100,000 to sit right with the law, when he could have had a happy tenant for the next 20 years. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to watch more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Welcome to r/Reddit Revenge. This is the story of someone getting back at someone with revenge after being wronged. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, Inspector didn't want to deal with me anymore. The second story, Giant. Except when it came to my inspector. Let's call her Mary. Mary was the district inspector, and she had it in for all of us there. Our staff would see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up. Then she'd see a red car in the parking lot and scramble to tidy up
She loved coming in when we were slammed, with a line about the door, tables needing to be cleared, donuts flying off the rack, and everyone just trying to keep up. Never mind taking her break. People used to freak when they saw her car pull up. She was slim with big curly orange hair and a mean streak. She was an in-house inspector that worked for corporate. She seemed to really enjoy her job. Marking faults and handing her reports to our managers within the file. She enjoyed her work until she came into the kitchen. Working, which was most days. She hated it when I worked. Because I had to train people all the time, I had to keep a clean kitchen with everything without her. It was also in great shape because the cleaning and refilling and prepping and operating the kitchen to code was what I did with the franchisees while training them. It more or less took care of itself. It also didn't hurt that I was a perfectionist. Mary didn't seem to like that at all. She would find any excuse to dock me points. I think she was a little obsessed with it. She would go to great lengths to catch me screwing up. Even my managers, who regularly rotated to other stores, felt bad for me. They said they'd never seen anything like that. Mary she would pull out heavy, old, out-of-circulation
Team Deathmatch.
And run her hands along the back to check for dust.
Die Zeit läuft ab. An die
I
Arbeit.
wiped that SH on the regular. It must have made her blood boil. She would always come down and talk to me points for my shoes. My shoes were dusty, not black, and therefore not. I couldn't afford to buy work shoes, making minimum wage. Every time she visited, she would condescendingly point them out, tell me how I should know better, imply that I'm lucky she didn't pursue it, dock me the points, and drop off the paperwork to my manager.
Wir sind an der Spitze.
Bonus if she could find a conflict. That was the report too. I hated her. She almost brought me to tears.
Wir haben die Führung verloren.
I was and how seriously I took my job. She just let me have that. I was also so confused by it because I had no negative history with her. I really took it personally. At the time, I was also really critical of myself, so this put a lot of fuel on the fire. Maybe she felt I would make her look bad if she gave me a perfect score. I had been taking Taekwondo at that time. I had an athletic background when I initially started, so I advanced quickly and was competing quite early for my belt level. During class, patterns, by partnering up and practicing holds, throws, self-defense, sparring, etc. Occasionally, students wanted to try a class. This is where they would join, so that they could interact with other students. We didn't rubberneck to see who came in. Our instructor would just announce it and choose someone to pair with them. A lot of students didn't although I would have rather trained with someone more advanced than me, I didn't mind being patient. My instructor welcomed me to the class and directed me to pair up with her. I was around and she was. I think we both had the same thought. Oh God, is this really happening right now? This is totally happening right now. It was brutal, like I was dreaming. I just kept staring at her thinking blankly, WTF. During class, I got to show her how to defend against the attack. Drop down. Rear elbow strike.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Anflug.
Not just because it was so enjoyable to witness, in that situation anyway. I encouraged her to do and would correct her and have her try again. Completely ineffective, because she didn't know what she was doing.
Wir haben die Führung.
Like, almost got it, Mary. You just need to lower yourself like this, so you can flip the attacker like this. Wham! Auto back again. But I hear it. Day after I ran into her, you will never believe what happened last night. My managers were giddy like children, and it was high fives all around. Mary came back for a few more classes.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position.
Every morning after Taekwondo, my managers would want the update. How was it? Tell me all about it. What did you get to do to her this time? Do an impression of her. Show me what her face was like. Mary dropped out after about 4 weeks, maybe less. It was a grand effort, Mary. I rarely star in my work anymore. I think she used to time her business around my shift or my break. Sometimes I thought I started hard driving out the parking lot, and my managers would tell me again, and my report would be just left on a table in the back. She never docked points on me again. That SH was perfect. The next story is, auto repair shop shut down. I'm the kind of person who lets lot of things fly, but when I feel wrong, I come down hard on those wrong things. There was a small mechanic shop a few blocks away from where I live, ran by a man called Paul.
Feindliche Fernlenkladung in eurem Einsatzgebiet.
Remember, I'd say at least 15 years. I was 17 when this went down, and was looking at getting my first car. I would have considered being a family friend at this point, so when he heard about me looking for a car, he offered to gift me a car. Around this time, my mom was wanting to also pick up her 1989 hard-body Nissan pickup truck. That was sustainability.
Feindliches Spionageabwehrflugzeug im Anflug.
They say my mom brought in the truck, and he offered to give me a car around the same time. For a few months, we always had to so I started with the red yet. So I hadn't given the car yet. When it came to the car, it's always something like cars around for a long time.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position.
And when it came to my mom's truck split, I've been really busy around the shop, so I haven't gotten to it yet. Or I'm waiting on the car to get in. Since we entrusted me, we didn't think much about it.
Feindliche Vorräte unterwegs.
Area. It was always busy. Also, I mean, he was giving me a car for free, so I'm pushing him for something he doesn't have to do. I would estimate his charge around November. February or so, he probably started to get out of here.
Das funktioniert nicht. Wir liegen zurück. Lagebericht. Feindlicher Kampfhubschrauber über euch. Feindliches Geschütz im Einsatzgebiet
I
entdeckt.
wanted my mom to get her truck back. Auto shop. In California, there's a department called the Bureau of Automotive Repair, BAR, licenses and governs all auto repair facilities. This is when I landed on a gold
Mehrere feindliche Geschütze sind im Einsatzgebiet. Spionageabwehrflugzeug im Anflug. Feindliche Vorräte sind in der Luft. Feindliche Vorräte unterwegs.
My mom and I look back on it, we were dead just trying to steal my mom's truck. I don't know if he thought he was going to call it a trade, the truck for a car.
Feindliches Spionageabwehrflugzeug im Anflug. Artillerie entdeckt. An alle, Artilleriebeschuss. Fliegt zu oder macht euch Konsequenzen. Feindliches Spionageflugzeug über euch in Position. Mehrere feindliche Spionageflugzeugkontakte. Feindliches Geschütz im Einsatzgebiet entdeckt.
About halfway through, they stopped.
Feindliches Spionageflugzeug im Land. Hier gibt es nichts zu gewinnen. Einsatz abbrechen und das Kampfgebiet verlassen.
Das ging mal nach hinten los.
started to go pear-shaped, I do what I used to do back in college, when I had to have conversations with police. Put my phone in my shirt pocket and started to record. No wiretapping laws in my state. That's right, I've got this guy soliciting illegal labor to me in full living digital color. The next day, the basement company sends out some licensed and bonded plumbers to fix my pipes for $0 because of the failure to locate the pipes. That's right, the scoping company marked the pipe 4 feet away from where it actually was. The scoping company not only didn't find any damage, they didn't even find the pipe. They did literally nothing. The basement plumbers do an excellent professional job. They bill the scoping company for their time. This morning, the phone guys came back to finish the job, and I tell them about the sleazeball that they've contracted. I play the audio for them of the guy trying to sell me on cheap Mexican illegal labor. Half the phone crew is Hispanic men. They are not pleased. The crew chief tells me, we're never doing business with that company ever again. I'm calling our owner right now. He also read me the contract that they had with the scoping company that explicitly says they're to look for damaged pipes, vindicating me once more. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Welcome to r/Reddit Revenge. This is the story of someone getting back at someone with revenge after being wrong. And today we have 3 great stories. So subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, Navy departmental leader sets up an illegal alternative punishment and blackmails a sailor, but the sailor reports the blackmail, and the leader is then forced into retirement. The second story, manager begins taking all the credit and micromanaging contractors' work, forces them to sign off on work. The third story, rude boss was fired after 8 years of work. Today's first story is blackmail in the Navy forces Master Chief into retirement. I have a pretty good story. I was not involved with it, but I knew the people that were and saw the fallout of it. I was in the Navy stationed on a ship. This ship had a major incident on it that required fixing, so we pulled into port and went down to 3-section duty in order to direct it. This means that 1 out of every 3 days, you're required to be on the ship for
Bro, da kommen die fetten Boxen rein mit der Autobatterie, Junge.
Suchen und zerstören.
Semtex geworfen.
Die Zielobjekte verteidigen.
Alter. Oder das hätte aber hätte den langes Trauma gehabt von den Dingern. Auch so ein Horrorszenario. Also, ja, das. Alter, ja, oder? Das ist. Ja, wirklich ein Horrorszenario. Also, es gibt nicht viel, wovor ich wirklich Angst habe im Straßenverkehr. Klar, Unfälle an für sich möchte man nie haben, das ist ja klar. Aber im Grunde unverschuldet ein Kind anzufahren, weil es halt einfach irgendwie aus dem Nichts auftaucht und du dich schon an alle Regeln hältst, Geschwindigkeit etc. Aber trotzdem, da kann ich schon davor haben, Angst gehabt. Ja, natürlich kann man jetzt mit dem Finger auf den Vater zeigen, so, aber letztendlich hat er ja nochmal.
Suchen und zerstören.
Aber Bruder, ich bin der Vater trotzdem aus der Situation, dass
Das Zielobjekt bewachen. Die Bombe
Markiere
wurde platziert.
Zielposition.
Schadensbereit.
Markiere Ziele.
Bombe offline.
Feind am Boden.
Sammelpunkt wechseln.
Wenn der Reifenplatz zerstört, glaube ich, ja, es sieht halt eher nach einer Vollbremsung aus. Oder?
Das Ziel erledigen. Ladungen erlangt.
Er hat nicht die Leitplanke getroffen. Alles kann gut sein, ja. Digga! Bruder, der ist der Held. Der Busfahrer, glaube ich, ist der Held. Endlich. Also da hat man es doch gemacht mit dabei, die denken die Leute auch. Damals, das letzte Mal, dass die Leute Klatsch gehört haben, ist WLAN. Als ich mal Großeltern von Hamburg nach Mallorca geflogen bin. Heute macht das irgendwie keiner mehr, aber damals hat man geklatscht.
Bombe fallen gelassen.
Und dem Piloten
Werfe eine Granate.
Tröste dich, Genosse. Wir schlagen sie nächstes Mal.
Bei solchen Kunden, aber wenn ich nach Malta geflogen bin oder in die Türkei oder nach Griechenland, da hat niemand geklatscht. Das ist mal klatschen, hast du.
Oh, was ein Hurensohn, Alter.
Die Zielobjekte beschützen.
Ein Schaden und nur der Fahrer hat dicken Schock. Und es sieht mir nicht aus, als wenn hier ein Reifenplatzer ist. Das hätte wehgetan, wenn das Kind von mir hunderte Mal wäre das hätte wehgetan, Digga. Alter, er ist schuld gehabt. Weißt du? Hier im Auto.
Nur noch ein Feind übrig.
War rot,
Zeig diesen Imperialisten, dass das kein Zufall war.
aber das kann auch sein, dass die Leute
Stützpunkt wechseln. Zerstört die Zielobjekte. Wir haben die Bombe.